Tell you a quick story that's kind of personal, but what the heck, you know, you guys flew me out to Miami Beach, so let's roll with it. A lot of people ask me, you know, Nicole, like, why are you in public speaking? You see, I was retired from the Air Force less than 4 months ago. I did 21 years, 7 months, and 0 days, but who's counting? Career fighter pilot. The hardest thing about being here today was figuring out what resort casual was, you know. There's like little nautical theme on my buttons here. I'm so used to pulling a uniform, but my entire identity, right? My entire identity that I've known was gone overnight. Everything I knew changed. That dream I had since I was 5 years old changed. Here's the thing, I did not leave the military on my terms. I would love to still be in the military right now as a fighter pilot. I did not leave the military because I wanted to. I was actually medically retired from the United States Air Force after being found 100% unfit for duty. Out of nowhere, right? I got sick out of nowhere. Back in 2012, when I was the commander of an F-15E fighter squadron, I went to my doctor. I had a rash on my hip. I wasn't feeling well. They told me it was a spider bite. I would endure 1,525 days, 24 doctors, across 8 specialties, and 3 misdiagnoses before I would get my actual diagnosis and into my treatment plan. And to tell you how bad it got, in August of 2016, so less than 2 years ago, I had gotten so bad neurologically, I was having really neurological deficits. I woke up and I was actually unable to move or talk. And so it was a really scary time. It was transient, and I would have these moments up and down, and the doctors were trying to figure it out. I finally got shipped to Boston, Harvard Medical School, and I realized, and it's a crazy story, but my entire career, everything, all my dreams since I was that 5-year-old girl was gone in the blink of a bite. I'm a survivor of neurological tick-borne illness. A tick. A little itty bitty tick took out combat-proven fighter pilot. A little itty bitty tick took out this Thunderbird pilot. You have got to be kidding me. And I stand up here before you as a walking poster child of invisible illness. And I know that there are people in this audience that are also dealing with chronic invisible illnesses. There's been damage to my brainstem. I have a balance deficit and I can get vertigo. I also get airsick on airliners now. What? How rude. I have a hard time reading and writing. And I have permanent damage to my autonomic nervous system. I don't have temperature control, so you won't see me sitting out at the sun or by the pool very often, although I did watch you all from my room. But the point of sharing this story is this, like, there are gonna be times, right, in your life or in your career where things are gonna happen to you that you absolutely have to accept, that you cannot fight. It's not a matter of bucking the status quo or coming up with a new policy or setting a new audacious 5 million goal. This is something that, there's nothing you can do about it. And I fought, and for 6 months I couldn't speak and I was bedridden. And I was stuck with this in my head. How could this happen to me? What's gonna happen to me? What am I gonna do? I have no identity outside of this, and I fought it. And finally one day in my head, I heard this phrase, and I offer it to you, which is yield to overcome. Yield to overcome. It was not helping my recovery, it was not helping my family, it was not helping me move forward by being stuck in a place I could not change. And so acceptance and yielding is not the same as surrender. It is not the same as giving up. It's about knowing where you are and moving in a completely different direction. And I've been told, wow, you're so resilient. And resiliency is a cool thing, right? It's kind of in vogue right now. It's important. But this isn't about resiliency. And I know there's people in the audience here going through this and people on your teams who are going through something like this. Resiliency means you bounce back to your old self, right? You're a self. You fall down, you get back up to your old self. Well, when you go through something like this, you are no longer the same person. It is a crucible experience. You are fundamentally different when you come out on the other side. I ended up being housebound for nearly a year and a half and literally just started walking and talking about 10 months ago. And I am different because of that experience, but it's been beautiful. I am tougher than I ever thought I was. I have a level of compassion for people I never had before, and I am so very, very grateful for that. And I'm not resilient because I'm not the same as I was. I talk about the term resurgence. So it's ironic I've become a public speaker given the fact that my voice was taken from me. But I'm trying to resurge and reinvent myself, and being here with you at SunTrust is one of the ways I've been able to do that. It takes courage. It takes trusting that you have to move forward. It takes trusting the people who are there to support you, like my family, my husband, my doctors, my caregivers, that I'm standing here today.